3, 2, 1.
Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading in particular, mystery reading number 1152. My name is Elizabeth, and before getting into this reading, if you are a recurring viewer, you enjoy my work, and you would like to help support it, feel free to do so by sticking around and hitting the subscribe button down below, and ringing the notification bell next to it if you feel called to. And if you do feel called to subscribe and stick around, welcome, and thank you very much for your support in helping me reach 300 subscribers at this time, as well as your presence during this reading. Someone here could be feeling frustrated, angry, enraged. That feeling of, whatever degree it is for you. And to be more specific, for somebody in particular, this frustration or this rage could be related to being treated like this frustration or this anger that you feel is invalid. It's delusional. You're so sensitive. And the reason why it's so frustrating is because your original frustration is actually valid. You are allowed to say and do what you need to do to protect yourself, respect yourself, and stand up for how you deserve to be treated, how you deserve to be spoken to, how you deserve to be even talked about behind your back, when nobody's around. But you don't have to feel frustrated or angry for this particular reason. It could be about something else that is valid, or it's just certain feelings that are coming up for you that may be important to talk about in this reading for you. Or even just to reflect on, even if I don't talk about it any further from this point, which I would be surprised if I don't talk about it anymore, but we'll see. By the way, mystery reading 1147 in particular could have been, or could be, a significant reading for somebody watching this reading right here. I just saw the number 321 on the timer, which is a sign about trusting that everything happens for a reason. You feel drawn to that reading, 1147, for a reason, or it was significant for you for a reason. It could even be confirmation that this reading right here is also meant for you. But moving into interpreting 1152, there are 2 ones in this number, and the number 1 is about having trust and faith, grounding yourself in trust and faith for yourself, for the universe, what you're capable of, what's possible for you, so that you can see things clearly. Make sure you are acknowledging your strengths just as much as you acknowledge your weaknesses. Make sure you acknowledge the good things that happen to you just as much as the bad things. There's really something here about having a balanced perspective. It could even be a warning here to not make decisions or say anything or do anything while you are feeling intense emotions, even if they're good feelings. Because intense emotions can, the best way I can describe it is it can slant reality. moving on to the number 5. This number is about change and transformation. Maybe you feel called to change and grow and transform as a person, or maybe there's something in your reality, a relationship, or a certain situation where something needs to change, or the change is imminent, whether you want it to happen or not. There's just this general feeling of movement and motion, and again, this could be going on within you, outside of you, or both. Maybe there's an opportunity here to change your perspective, change how you feel, change what you believe, or to change the dynamics of a situation, walk away from a relationship that's not good for you, or changing the dynamic of a certain relationship. Let's start talking about the number 5 just seconds into 5 minutes of this recording. And I almost saw 555 on the timer, so I really get this strong feeling that there is a significant change here. And it feels like it's more so about a significant change in perspective, because what I talk about with the number 1 about having a balanced perspective, making sure that you're not seeing things through a lens of overwhelming negativity or overwhelming positivity. There could be a significant decision you have to make here, which I think is very fitting for moving on to the next number, the number 2, because this number can be about being wise, maybe even patient with your decisions right now. Make sure you're protecting your peace and investing in and prioritizing who and what truly means the most to you and aligns with you honestly, authentically, morally. The number 2 can also be confirmation of a significant relationship or situation on your mind right now. Maybe there is a significant change or transformation in a situation or a relationship, or even just in your emotions, something that you feel emotionally connected to and invested in. And I'm feeling connected to the phrase, by the power vested in me, which I believe is what a pastor says during a marriage, or whoever is, doing whatever they do at a marriage. Yeah. Could it be something here about marriage? A romantic partner where something needs to change for the better, no matter what that looks like, even if it looks like divorce, but it's totally up to you. Really depends on your situation, what this is really about. I just want to put it out there that if you feel divorce is the answer, that is an option, even if it's a difficult one. And it's okay to try to communicate and talk things out, too. Adding up these numbers, 1 plus 1 is 2, and 2 plus 5 is 7. 7 plus 2 is the number 9, which is about purpose and helping the world release what no longer works. And I did see the number 55 seconds on the timer because it's counting down, because it's about to stop recording. Maybe this change here is also about a loss. Maybe letting go of something within you, outside of you, or both. Whatever this loss could be about, it feels like it is connected to a sense of purpose and deeper meaning. I really encourage you to do or to say what you believe is truly morally right and just and fair to you. It does feel like there's something here about honoring your own moral compass. And that could be the deeper meaning behind this situation, making a decision out of principle or to make a point rather than carelessness or just an emotional reaction or anything like that. Really give yourself the time and space that you need to make a decision if you feel called to that could lead to a loss or some sort of change that will probably be uncomfortable. I mean, let's be real. When is change not uncomfortable? Even when it's a positive change, it can still be a little scary. But overall, this number 1152 has been a call for you to have trust and faith in yourself, to ground yourself in clarity and reality and a balanced perspective, recognizing the good and the bad for what it is instead of getting lost in the darkness or feeling like you're absorbing too much light. Do you know what I mean? There is something here about change, and this could be an internal transformation within yourself, a change outside of yourself in a relationship or a significant situation, or both. It could definitely be both. No matter what, be wise with your decisions right now. Make sure you're protecting your peace. I want to say your stability, maybe even your resources. And make sure you're prioritizing and investing in people and situations that morally, truly, and honestly align with you and who you truly, really are. There's a lot of emphasis here about expressing yourself in your words, your actions, your decisions authentically. And whatever this change is, whatever loss, potentially, it doesn't have to be totally in vain. In fact, I don't think that it is. And it's okay if it hurts. It's okay if it's uncomfortable. It's only temporary, the discomfort and the pain, but only if you allow it to be, only if you allow yourself to fully move on and embrace whatever this change is. I think I'm feeling connected to tears for two reasons. Because this box over here that I have says, your fears aren't real, and because it was kind of cut off, the word fears, the letter F was gone. And so it's just EARS, and it just reminded me of tears. And then I felt connected to that song, Tears Don't Fall by Bullet from My Valentine. So there could really be a sense of grief here, and I really don't want to underestimate or overlook that aspect of dealing with some sort of uncomfortable change or loss. It's really important to help you move forward and make an honest decision to give yourself the patience and the grace and all the time and space that you need to process the grief, the loss, whatever emotions you are going through. You deserve space and time to take up space and to take up time when it comes to caring for your emotional, maybe even spiritual needs. It really just depends on how deeply it impacts you, I guess. But given that we talked about purpose and helping the world release what no longer works, this feels like a very meaningful change. And it's worth something. It means something. And I just saw the number 456 on the timer, which I think that timing, unironically, is great, because that is a sign to trust that everything happens for a reason. This grief, this loss, this change, while difficult, is happening for a reason. There's something to learn here. And with these lessons, this newfound awareness and consciousness, you can benefit from that. But really, it feels like only if you allow yourself to fully move on and embrace the rest of life. If you heard that noise, there was a cat. She's sleeping in my room. She was stretching. She talks a lot. But yeah, I mean, getting distracted by the cat. Cats can be mysterious. I know that they can also be connected to intuition. For me personally, she kind of scared me a little bit. It was a little bit frustrating in a way. But maybe there is something here about the unknown that is scary or frustrating, but also mysterious and alluring. And she's walking by and still talking. She wants me to give her attention, but I'm a busy little kitty. What was I talking about? I know that I was talking about, I think the last thing I remember talking about was 4, 5, 6, and trusting that everything happens for a reason. Just giving yourself the space and the time that you need to grieve. This even feels like it could be an opportunity here for you to take a closer look at the relationship that you have with the unknown and change in general. And I just looked down at the timer and saw another sign to trust that everything happens for a reason with the number 654. It feels like there is an opportunity here to become more spiritually enlightened. There is something to gain from this experience, but it may be more psychological or spiritual and not as tangible or material, but equally as important and valuable and worthy of being acknowledged, I guess you could say. Let's go ahead and move into the cards that are on the table, which this is the Prisma Visions Tarot, and these are flashcards that I made and wrote on myself with things that I just felt called to write on. One second. I'm really trying to... My throat is really irritating me right now because I'm trying to talk and do this reading, and it's just frustrating me, I guess. Causing a lot of distraction for me personally. But yeah, let's draw out one of these tarot cards now. Get more detail, maybe some confirmation or information that I haven't even shared yet. Let me drop some on the floor. Interesting. So for you, I have the Judgment card. And I'm not sure what planet that symbol is. You can look it up if you feel like it. But there is the crown chakra. Right there. That triangle, by the way, is an element. And I don't know which one it is. So again, if you feel called to, you can look that up and see what it means. But I thought it was interesting to get this Judgment card because it feels like it's specifically related to what I was talking about closer to the beginning with having a balanced judgment. Acknowledging both the good and the bad and the light and the dark within yourself. And in this reality, and when it comes to loss and grief, it's really easy to feel consumed by the darkness. And don't rush yourself into this. But whenever you feel ready, don't forget to remember the good in who you are and in this life. And I don't know if I said it. I don't think I did. But this Judgment card is also a major arcana here, so it is a major theme. It's something very important that needs to be focused on or talked about or recognized. There's really something here about how clearly you are seeing things. If you don't allow yourself to move on fully, to embrace some sort of change fully, it will have a negative impact on your judgment and ultimately your decisions and the kind of reality that you are creating for yourself, the kind of relationships that you have or opportunities that you choose to invest in. Not allowing yourself to heal and to protect your judgment is a form of self-sabotage. I feel like your judgment is such a powerful thing that just really needs to be protected, because it not only has an effect on you personally, but also those around you. This card has the number 20 on it, and 2, the 0 is still 2. And so there really is a significant relationship or situation on your mind right now, which seems like a logical message here. But also really reinforcing the idea of being very wise with your decisions, not only with, whether you choose to walk away or to, keep fighting, but also with how you move forward, what kind of mindset you move forward with, what kind of feelings and beliefs you carry with you forward from this experience. I strongly, strongly encourage you to protect your peace and do not underestimate the power of your own decisions and who and what you choose to invest in. It's important to choose to invest in people and opportunities, situations that morally align with you, like I've been talking about this entire time. And I saw a sign to trust that everything happens for a reason with number 2, 3, 4 on the timer. You're being encouraged to protect your judgment, your decisions, and your reality for a reason, because you deserve to have as much control as possible over who and what you surround yourself with. Let's draw a couple of these index cards now to wrap up this reading here. I'm going to draw both of them right now and then talk about them. The first card that I have is Shame, which is making me think of the name Shane, S-H-A-N-E. The last card we have, I think it's fair to say that I want everything with you. As soon as I was reading that, I saw the number 333 on the timer. The number 333 is about expressing yourself, using your voice, and accepting an opportunity to heal and to grow, and always choosing to heal and to grow as a commitment to yourself and the kind of relationship that you deserve to have with yourself. And while I was talking about the number 333, I saw 345 on the timer, which again is another sign to trust that everything happens for a reason. You are being encouraged to express yourself, to use your voice with words, actions, art, writing, whatever feels right for you for a reason. You are being encouraged to heal and to grow and to always be committed to healing and growth for a reason. Ultimately, it really does serve you. But again, as I've talked about things being bigger than you, or the kind of impact that you have on those around you, you are contributing to a fight much greater than you when you choose to love yourself or to hate yourself, care for yourself or destroy yourself. Because of how connected we all are, when you choose to love yourself, you are contributing to a greater fight among many other people who are also choosing love over hate, care over destruction. And it's the same with destruction. When you choose to be more destructive and hateful, you are contributing to a greater fight, a greater group of people who are fighting for the same cause that I personally believe is not worth it, personally and collectively. But that's the power of choice. You get to decide where you're headed personally in the future and where we are all headed in the future collectively. It's really important to recognize the part that you play in your own outcomes and outcomes on a bigger scale. Talking about these index cards now. Shame can be something that is extremely difficult to work through because it forces you to face a part of yourself, maybe some darkness within yourself that you're not really proud of. But you have to allow yourself to acknowledge your weaknesses, your own darkness, so you can learn how to use it to work for you. So you can learn how to love yourself more for your strengths, what you can do, what you can control. Don't shame yourself for making a mistake. Don't shame yourself for being confused or maybe being a little naive or anything like that. Adult or a child, we all can be foolish. To be fair, the first major arcana card in the tarot is the Fool card. And the person depicted or described in the Fool card isn't called a fool because they're naive. It's because they have the potential to be naive, but only because they're ignorant. They have something to learn. There's really something beautiful about the Fool card. It really is about embracing a new opportunity with so much hope and excitement, but also going into it with realistic expectations and being open to being disappointed or being wrong or having to walk away or things of that nature. It can be a really beautiful thing to be hopeful and optimistic. But in my opinion, it's equally as beautiful to love yourself and be patient with yourself when you're disappointed, or when your own judgment played a part in being hopeful or optimistic in a way that felt misguided, if that makes sense. All I'm trying to say with this shame card is to not put up a wall with yourself out of fear, out of shame, because you deserve the grace to learn something, especially if you never really had a fair opportunity or chance to learn what lesson is being presented to you right now. And this card that says, I think it's fair to say that I want everything with you, it feels like it can go one of two ways. Either this is a painful card to see, knowing that somebody may have manipulated you or had a silver tongue or wasn't really honest about their intentions with you, or it's a hopeful card, knowing that there is somebody out there that that you're connected to who genuinely sees the future that you want with them. And whichever way it goes, I'm wanting to say it depends on whichever way the wind blows. I'm not sure what that means. But it does feel like a call here to use your judgment. Unironically. The crown chakra really makes me think that there really is an opportunity here to become more aware, more awake, more wise, and ready and able to go into a new opportunity, a new relationship, a new similar situation, with a better understanding of what to expect. And I did see the number 333 again, which, as I said before, is about expressing yourself using your voice and taking an opportunity to heal and grow, and being committed to healing and growing, knowing that that is what you deserve from yourself, to show up for yourself in that way. Overall, this reading has been encouraging for you to have trust and faith in yourself and the universe to help you see things more clearly. Maybe there is some insecurity here that could be clouding your judgment, which would make sense with the shame card, and I just saw a sign to trust everything happens for a reason. So maybe there really is, like, the reason why you feel this shame or you misjudge something is because of insecurity. And it's important to address that and to heal, wherever that is coming from. And I really wouldn't be surprised if it is connected to childhood or the relationship that you had or didn't have with your parents. This reading is definitely acknowledging some sort of change, some sort of loss that could potentially be very difficult for somebody. And it makes it even more important for you to be very wise about your decisions moving forward and how you move forward, and just, in general. Protect your judgment, your peace, your values, your morals. Move forward knowing that whatever you're experiencing, feeling, thinking is bigger than you. And that however you choose to move forward from this will have a positive or negative impact on those around you in a fight that is greater than you. Be wise about your decisions, not only for yourself, but also for others. The cards on the table here has really confirmed the idea of protecting your judgment and these messages about how clearly you're seeing things, and to really, give yourself grace, patience, and understanding so you can heal and grow and become wiser. Give yourself less reason to feel ashamed. I kind of feel like if you allow yourself to dwell in the shame, it's only going to perpetuate the bad decision making and the shame itself. And there could be a romantic relationship, as I said before, maybe a marriage where somebody had a silver tongue or they were honest. And I think, this is a good opportunity here for you to practice good judgment and discerning somebody for who they really are and what their intentions really